Oh man, did y'all see that fight? It was crazy. Oh my God, they were just going blow for blow. Oh my God, you couldn't tell who was gonna win. It was just insane. Oh, you didn't see it? What? All right, don't worry. I saw the whole thing. I'm gonna tell you how everything went.
Let's do it.
So you know the hype was out there. The Crusher 360 is the reigning king of bass, right? And the Crusher 360 is always talking trash because it's got the bass slider and everything, and nobody can handle all the bass. It even gave me an eargasm. It was nuts. But then Sony just launched their XB900Ns with noise canceling and extra bass, and everybody's like, oh man, I wonder how this fight is gonna be. So yeah, man, they finally jumped in the ring. So the way it happened was the Crusher 360 just comes in the ring, all hyped up, just kind of warming up. Then once he got in the ring, he walked over to the XB900s and he said something. It was kind of a whisper. I couldn't tell what he said.
You're going down, man. You're going down.
But either way, the XB900s looked real intimidated after that little word exchange. So the XB900s looked back at his coach, which was the XM3s, and the XM3s was like,
these people are for you, Rock.
I appreciate it.
Are you ready in here?
I think so.
Yeah, well, tonight's our night, kid.
Round one, fight.
First, we'll get into the build quality. Crusher 360s nailed it with an almost all metal build. It has a metal headband, nice hard plastic that's durable, and great hinges that seem to stand up to the test of time, and cushy vinyl ear pads. Everything is put together really well for a nice solid set of headphones. At $300, you definitely want a nice solid headphones. You want a feel quality built into it. So the build quality is definitely a 5-star rating on the Crusher 360. Now the Sony XB900s is an all plastic build, but it's that Sony plastic that they use in the XM2s and XM3s, which seems to stand up pretty well. The hinges seem to be doing fine. Everything seems pretty well put together for a good package overall, but I gotta give the more premium build quality to the Skull Candy Crusher 360. Then we move into design. Man, I gotta say, it was blow for blow on this one. The XB900s, they have two colors, they got the black and the blue. I'm digging that blue. The Crusher 360s, they came in the black on black, and then they came with the black on tan. So you got different colorways on both sides, but they both look good on the head, and they both have a nice profile and a classic design while they're sitting on your head.
Round two.
Oh, but that's when we get down to comfort, man. All right, the Crusher 360s, man, they got that pillowy ear cups. Oh man, they just kind of lay on top of your ears, and everything just kind of sinks in there like two big breastises just squeezing on the side of your head. But there's something about the ear cups, they're kind of tight, so your ears don't really fit all the way in there. And that's where the Sonys kick in. They have really spacious ear cups that do not heat up. And they're nice and soft, and they have memory foam in there. So Sony comes out swinging real hard on the comfort when it comes to long-term use. Now we can't talk about long-term use without talking about battery life. How long can they beat your eardrums up before you have to charge them? Now the Sonys have noise canceling, so you get 30 hours with the noise canceling on and 35 hours with the noise canceling off. But they do not support quick charge. So once they're done, I don't see anything in the manual saying it has quick charge. So you gotta charge those things up old school style, the long way. Now the Crusher 360 only has 29 hours of battery life, but it does support quick charge. So that way you can plug them in for about 10 minutes and you can get up to 3 hours worth of a charge. So the Crusher 360 throws a devastating blow all up in the chin of the Sonys. But don't count the Sonys out just yet, because they get up and they start swinging back as hard as they can, just meleeing with features. This is where the Sony headphones start to really shine. They've got ANC, which happens to be really good, ambient sound with that ANC. They got swipe gestures on the right ear cup, NFC. You got a customizable button to use for your ambient sound, noise canceling. And they also have Google Assistant built in where you can actually customize it and hear your notifications through the headphones. And last but not least, a full-blown app where you can EQ, go to different sound venues, toggle things on and off, and adjust whatever you need to adjust in that app. But once the Crusher 360 shakes off that melee that the XB900s just delivered, they come out swinging hard with that bass slider. Man, that bass slider, once you crank it up, you can only crank it up just so much before it starts to kind of tickle your eardrums and your spine. It gets me good in my spine, man. Once you crank up that bass slider just a little bit, you can crank it up to about halfway and you should be satisfied under normal circumstances. But once you crank it up, you get nice, deep, rich bass that literally rattles your eardrums and it goes into your neck and it triggers all kinds of nerve endings and stuff. It's just a really, really nice bass. But I have noticed over long-term usage that some of the notes don't catch like they're supposed to. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just kind of depends on the song. So every song is not gonna capture every bass frequency that you would want it to. Even though it has a wide range of bass response on the spec sheet, it really doesn't catch them in reality, not every single time. But Sony's got something up their sleeve. These are their version of bass lover headphones. They've got what's called clear bass, and that's why they call it the XB900s. So without even turning on the clear bass, the Sonys they sound so good, lots of thump. Now this is a nice tight bass that these things deliver. Yes, they can get that boomy bass when you start adding in the clear bass, and it is clear bass. It doesn't muddy up the music at all. It just adds that extra boom and punch to whatever you listen to. But it doesn't come with a bass slider or a physical button like it used to on the headphones, so you have to open up the app to get that clear bass activated. But once you activate it, you get a nice solid bass that happens all throughout the song, through every bass frequency that song delivers. And that's what I like about the Sonys, is that it hits all the bass that you're looking for, not just, you know, a handful of notes or not just the super lows. Now they do not get as low as the Crusher 360. They don't get in your body like the Crusher 360s, but they do capture those bass notes very well, and it handles them so well. The sound is good coming out of these things when you're listening to hip hop and heavy bass music like EDM and dubstep and stuff like that. Love them, love them, love them. But sometimes it's not just about bass, so we got to talk about overall sound quality and versatility. And once again, the Sonys come out swinging as hard as they can, just meleeing all upside the head of the Crusher 360. Because honestly, the Crusher 360, they sound fantastic with the bass slider down, and it's a very versatile headphone as far as listening. However, when you move over to the Sony side with the XB900s, it just has more to deliver as far as sound, because you got that app support with the different sound venues and the built-in EQ. Plus, they get a few clicks louder than the Crusher 360. And also, the Crusher 360, when you slide that bass slider all the way up to max, for some reason, it seems like your volume actually goes down. And sometimes you can see it on your phone volume, it'll go down 1 or 2 clicks. And sometimes you can push it back up, sometimes it just stops where it's at. So once again, when you take that bass slider all the way to max on the Crusher 360, it'll push your overall volume down 1 or 2 clicks. Whereas on the Sonys, it just gets loud with a lot of tight bass.
Final round. Fight!
Now finally, we've got to get into the price. So the Crusher 360, when it was available, it is not available anymore from a retailer. But when it was available, it's a limited edition and it cost $300. $300 ain't too bad for a set of headphones that are built as solid like a tank as the Crusher 360s and offer what they have to offer. But they're not available anymore. Whereas the Sonys just launched and they're available pretty much everywhere for 250 bucks. So if you got 250 bucks scratching a hole in your pocket, then you can pick up the XB900s on Amazon, Best Buy, or wherever they sell them. This fight seemed to go on forever. Just people swinging, bloody noses, black swollen eyes, and spit flying everywhere. It was crazy, and at the end of it, they both swung at the same time and knocked each other on the mat. Because basically, it comes down to this. They're both fantastic headphones. They both pack a lot of stinking bass. It really just depends on which one looks better than you, which one you might feel is more comfortable, and whether or not you want noise canceling and all those extra features that the Sonys come with. Me personally, I cannot pick a clear winner, but I'm leaning towards the Sonys simply because they do offer the noise canceling and all the extra features. I'm just in love with all the extra features and the sound versatility you can get out of those things versus what the Crusher 360s have to offer. Anyways, I ain't no expert in this kind of stuff, but I hope you enjoyed my fight recap because you missed a good one, man. Sorry you didn't get to see it live, but it was a good one, man. Anyways, y'all know I got 2 other channels, man. I got a vlog channel where I do vlogs and rants, and also I do reviews on everything that's not headphones. So make sure you dig off in the links in the description. But before I get out of here, y'all know the drill, man. Throw those emoji hands up in the comment section, and I'll see y'all at the next one. Hey, where you going? No. Sit back down. We got to talk about this. You didn't have a good time? All right, then. Hit the subscribe button. There you go. Reach down there. There you go. And then hit the bell because you need to know when I'm opening up more new stuff. You got to come right back here and check this stuff out. Now, don't you feel like a better human being? All right, I knew you would. All right, man. I'll see you soon.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?